The plan was to revisit the shops from the Shops I Avoid video that I did last year, but it didn't work out quite the way I thought. The first shop I did go back to, and they have gotten so much worse. This one I had to totally change my opinion of. I'm Michelle from Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and let's go thrifting. I love the sparkly glass. It just calls to me from across the room. I don't know why. And orange tags were half off, and they had so much of this pretty glass, and it was so inexpensive, but I honestly don't know what I would do with it if I brought it home, so I just keep drooling over it and walking past it, and someday I'm going to think of a reason why I need to buy a whole bunch of it. Besides making those pretty sun catcher flower yard art, maybe I need to go back and look at the glass with a different set of eyes. There's Snow White and 4 of her dwarves. And I like the scene. I like the room. The small child with the towel in front of the fireplace I could probably live without. The prices on this trip, I don't remember looking at prices last time I was in the shop, so either things cost less now than they did then, or I am paying better attention. There is some pretty milk glass. It had a blue tag, but the tag was completely illegible. And I don't know the rules of milk glass. So it's the fact that that isn't the bright, bright white an indicator that it's not milk glass. I don't know the rules. Someday I'm going to research it. And this little black cat candle was cute. I don't know if that was old or new. Something about the mask kind of makes me think that it might be new, trying to look vintage. There's some more sparkly pretty glass, and oh, that one had another obliterated price tag that I couldn't read because I did think of taking that one home for my sewing table. I could just walk up and down the thrift store aisles and look at the sparkly stuff, and that makes me happy. I don't know why. Look what I found. Look at the price on what I found. That is another of those Fenton pressed glass shoes, and it was 49 cents. And it is mine now, and it is going to live on my sewing room table because apparently I'm collecting these things now. I'm so glad that when I saw the ones for $8 at Goodwill a couple of months ago, that I told myself to wait and see if I could find them less expensive. My first one cost me $1. This one cost me 49 cents. Here's an old sad iron for $9.59, which is actually less expensive than I've seen them in other places. I have a few of my own. Chopper Hopper, it took me way too long to figure out what that was. Do people still use those? Did people ever actually use those? Or is the whole idea of dentures in a glass on the side of the table something from old movies? Nobody I knew who had dentures took them out, I don't think. And here was a little Pyrex mixing bowl. I am not sure if that will fit with my mixer. It's smaller than either of the two I have, but either way, it was 99 cents, and there are never enough bowls in my kitchen. I use them for mixing stuff and storing leftovers, and it came home with me. And this is about the time that I started thinking I really needed to change my opinion of this thrift shop, because I was finding things I liked, and in addition to finding things I liked, I was finding things that were extremely affordable. And then there's this. I don't buy milk glass because my grandma collected milk glass, and I have her entire collection carefully boxed away for when my kids are older and my house is calmer. But look at how pretty that is. Look at the kind of botanical pattern on it. I know Grandma didn't have anything like that. I've been watching My Fairy Treasures, and she has all of her pretty milk glass behind her on her table, and I brought that piece home. It is my first piece of milk glass that I ever bought myself. I also think that little pink shaker was cute, but I couldn't think of what I would do with it, so I left it behind for someone else. If I was going to buy a globe for our house, it'd be one like this. It's neat. It doesn't look like it would take up much space. It has that traditional globe look that I would want, but it didn't have a price tag, and we don't need a globe. The boys weren't with me, or only one of the boys was with me. If everyone had been there, they might have thought I needed a globe. Do you see what it is that pulled me across the room and helped me find their newly relocated craft section? Somehow I made a beeline for other things, and I don't understand. I think I have this kit in my collection already, so I wasn't too drawn to that one. I like this. This is Vintage Cruel, and it looked unopened. I wasn't quite sure that I liked it enough to spend $5 on it, so I'm going to go back in a week and see maybe if it is still there and blue tags are half off. I like the illustration on the front. The colors kind of... I'm thinking for Cruel, maybe I can draw my own pictures and use my own floss, and maybe I don't need kits. I don't know. I am kicking myself because I set this aside to look at it later, and I was distracted by the milk glass and the shoe, and I did not pick it back up to see what it actually was. I moved on to other things, and it totally slipped my mind. And like I said, I am kicking myself. I have a feeling that there are stitches there I woulda, coulda, shoulda saved. I'm filming this about an hour after I was in the store, and it's 30 miles round trip to go see if it's still there, so I'm not going to make the drive. I'm going to be reasonable. And here's the dimensions kit with the logo that called me across the room, and it was just candle wicking, so I don't need that. This is a flat queen size sheet. I used one just like it to back one of my absolute favorite quilts. My daughter found a set that were like new that she used on her bed until they got icky, and I used them to make shopping bags. I decided that I didn't need another one, although it would be fun to back another quilt with it. I really like that print, and I do use a lot of sheets to back my quilts because it's an affordable way to do it. Couple of handmade quilts, couple of crocheted afghans, nothing super exciting. And now we are up the scary stairs to the furniture section upstairs. I think this is the reason I avoid this store, although I could totally skip the upstairs and pretend that it wasn't there. These are old and they're steep, and once you get up to the top, I'm 5'2", and I'm pretty sure I could stretch up my arm and touch the ceiling. It is so low. And that's coming from someone who lives in a house with lower than usual ceilings. I don't like it up here. That's a super cute little desk, and I kind of adore it, but I also have something close enough to it that I don't need another one. And we all know that, like, more than 99% of what is in the thrift store that we are drawn to, we don't need, but it's fun to look. We get some exercise and some fresh air, and I bet there were some frames in there that would be good to upcycle into cross stitching, except at that point I was already kind of getting worn out and getting a little lightheaded from my mask, so I didn't take the time to look through them. I don't think this building has air conditioning. And here are the grapes. I know my grandma had the grapes. Once in a blue moon, I find grapes, and I always have to stop and look for them because they're like the ones on my grandma's kitchen table where we sat while mom and grandma visited for hours and hours. I get super nostalgic for things that I remember from my childhood. And the furniture actually, it's old, but it looked better this trip. I don't know, maybe I'm just in a more accommodating mood, or maybe the shop has really cleaned up since last time I was here. Let me know, did anything catch your eye? I know I had fun and a lot of things caught my eye, although I only needed to bring a couple of things home. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle with Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and I'll be back with you again soon.